Oh there, and well done again for a bit of movie. This movie being Friday the 13th part. Am I right? No, I'm not right. It's all confusing. They made so many. Friday the 13th part 7. That's right. Friday the 13th part 7. New Blood. A bit of history for you. When this was going to be made, they were going to do sort of like a Freddy versus Jason. I remember saying that on my Raspberry. One similar to like Freddy versus Jason. At the time, New Line Cinema, as we all know, owned the rights to the Nightmare on Elm Street films. And as you already know, at the time, Paramount was a different story. That was a different company who owned the rights to Friday the 13th. So they couldn't do it. So they sort of sneakily did a Carrie versus Jason. And that's how I look at it. So they did one basically with a dude with his magical psychotistic, big word for me, powers where she could move things with her mind. She had problems, and mum was being abused by an abusive dad, and so on. And you get sort of like a fast bat of that, where you see her as a little girl. You got the idea that the father slapped the mum. You get the sound effects. Come on, honey. Daddy didn't mean to it, mummy. She says, I hate you, I wish you were dead. And she uses her special powers, and by accident, her wrists sort of come to, but not in a good way. Her dad gets killed by an accident. A couple of years later, she's now like, she's a teenager, if you can believe that. And she goes to this special school to see a psychiatrist with her mum. You do get bits and bobs of all the other Friday the 13th, so you do get a moderator, which funny enough was the same actor who played J.C. Ralph in Friday the 13th Part 1 and the second Friday the 13th. Bit interesting, bit he did monologue. And again, it was heavily cut by the MPA. For people that don't know who the fuck the MPA is, think of censorship. The MPA is like the American version of censorship. And I kind of feel sorry for the director. The director who's no longer with us, may rest. He actually said it and he got it right. They fucking raped his movie. They raped his movie. Because if you go on YouTube, right, I'm not shitting you, and type in Friday the 13th, Part 7, New Blood, uncut scenes, you sort of see the scenes that were cut out. And it was fucking graphic as anything. Shitty faded he done. It's done on a very old, worn out videotape. But you do get to see the luxury of seeing those scenes in its uncut form. In its uncut fucking form. So it kind of makes me sad that you never got the luxury of seeing that, you know what I mean? It's still not bad though, even in its cut form. I like the story, you know what I mean? You got to do with psychotistic powers, you can move things with her mind. And there's a scene where she wishes her dad would come back. Big mistake, another bad risk what goes wrong, because by accident, if you remember the sixth one, Jason being in the bottom of the lake, he comes back, and as usual, he goes on a killing spree. Again, you don't get that much of the big bullshit. We already know at the point the killer's fucking Jason. You do get what a double of teens you like and a double you don't like. You get one dude who's a bit bitsy, bit of a slut, which I think is a bit bitsy. He makes out to this lad, oh, I like you, and all she's doing is just trying to get him into bed to get somebody else jealous. So basically, she uses this lad just to get to another lad. You always get a dude like that. She gets a good death though. She gets a fucking axe on the fucking head. Yes, Jason can't be that bad if he kills someone I don't fucking like. And you do get one lad in it. If you think, I've seen this lad before. Remember the film I was offending called Friday the 13th? The film I was offending, I meant to say, was that would have been The Hills Have Eyes 2. Well, the lad who's in this, that's like fuck me brain, the lad in this is in that. Is in this. That being Friday the 13th, I can get away with saying that now. Part 7. And it gets a bit confusing as they made so many. Because when you think about it, out of all the utility of slasher films, horror films, and so on, this has the biggest number of them all, even today in record. But again, Jason kills people here and here and here and there. And this is now when Jane Hodder prizes the role for the first time. Jane Hodder puts on the hockey mask. And you can definitely see why I think he was the best. Unlike the one in Freddy vs. Jason, why the hell did they not have Jane Hodder play fucking Jason in this. Why did you not obtain Hotter by Stallone in this? You'll get to do some deaths, but you want to see the deaths done better. Just look at the YouTube and look at the uncut version of Friday the 13th, Part 7. And it does make me feel sorry for the director, because like he says once when someone had asked him, he actually said that the MPA raped his film. They fucking raped his film. They left it alone. This would have been just as fine as Jason Goes to Hell, which I might do that, but be after Timbo. That's a good one. But yeah, 31st Friday the 13th Part 7, it's fucking me head. Friday the 13th Part 7, New Blood. It's not a bad one. It's a good one. You know what I mean? It's still a good one. It's still a good story. You know, this guy's satiety is supposed to be opening the door. He's a bit of a prick. He's a bit of a fucking asshole. Because all he wants to do is line her up to see how many special powers he can do. You know what I mean? And you find that out. But he gets a good death. And if you saw it more definitely uncut, it's a lot more meat to the feds. The mum gets killed. But she does get her own back. She uses her powers. The ending's a bit fucking thing, you know. It's anti-Madden tit. You know what I mean? It's a bit, even though I hate the word, I will say, I'll get away with saying it. It's a bit teaser. Because you think Jason's going to get the better of him, right? And this time, her risk comes too. Because this, just Tina, being the name of the character, she wishes her dad suddenly comes back. I do know originally that was going to be like a skeleton sort of zombie. There's some woman with the MPA again, had a fucking dodo out. So the old that her dad just had a bit of fucking mud on him. And suddenly turned him into a good guy. He gets fucking Jason anyway, to cut the story short. Drags him back in the water. End of fucking Jason. It ends with her and a fucking hubby driving off to Ostacle. They say it's over, which we all know is bollocks. You see a bit of the lake. End of fucking movie. I do know there was an original different ending to that where you see a guy, right? I let people know, you probably find it on YouTube. There's a guy, right, anyway, doing a bit of fishing. It's on a boat, doing a bit of fishing. Jason jumps out, don't ask me why, kills the guy who's doing his fucking everyday bit of fishing, drags him in the water. He doesn't get dragged in the water, but you got an idea what happens. He jumps out, he typical jump scare, that's a copy of the first and sort of like the third as well. Jumps out, drags the fucker down, and that's how it originally was going to end, but we get the ending what you see where the ambulance drives off, you see a bit of the lake, end the fucking movie, that's it. But it's not a bad one, you know what I mean? It's not a bad one. I can kind of see at that point where they're trying to do something different, you know, the same beat all the time, sex maniac teenagers, umping, fucking on a champion site. After a bit, it would start to get a bit, you know what I mean? So at that point, I can kind of understand, you know what I mean, at that point where they was doing something different. And I dilute it. I fucking dilute it. But yeah, Friday the 13th, Part 7, it's a good one. Into then, have a good one. And as I always say, be safe, be smart, and I'll see you later.